The Galactic Council chamber hummed with tension as Ambassador Zethkri of the Valdorian Empire slammed his crystalline appendage against the podium. The neutronium deposits of Kepler 442c belong to those who claimed them first. We have mined these systems for 3 millennia. Across the circular amphitheater, High Executive Vrain of the Hegemony clicked her mandibles dismissively. Your ancient claims mean nothing. Our fleets control those sectors now. The strong take what they need. The familiar argument echoed through the chamber's bioluminescent walls. For 10,000 years, galactic civilizations had fought the same wars over the same resources. Neutronium for ship hulls, quintessium for energy cores, rare minerals that took stellar lifetimes to form. The galaxy's wealth was finite and every species knew it. Every species except one. Perhaps, came a calm voice from the newest section of the chamber, we might consider a different approach entirely. The chamber fell silent. Ambassador Elena Vasquez of the Terran Federation stood slowly, her simple gray uniform a stark contrast to the ornate armor and biomodifications surrounding her. Humanity had been granted council membership only 50 years ago, an unprecedented gesture for such a young species. Zethkri's photosensitive organs flared with annoyance. Human, your species has existed in space for barely a century. What wisdom could you possibly offer regarding resource allocation? Elena smiled, an expression that still unsettled many council members. We offer the wisdom of those who learned to make something from nothing. She gestured and a holographic display materialized above the chamber. It showed a barren system, lifeless rocks orbiting a dying star, devoid of any valuable materials the council typically fought over. This is the TRAPPIST-7 system, Elena continued. 6 months ago it contained exactly what you see. Today, the hologram shifted. The dead system now teemed with activity. Massive ring structures surrounded the star. Orbital habitats dotted the space between planets. Most shocking of all, the formerly barren worlds showed the green-blue hues of thriving biospheres. Vrain's mandibles clacked in disbelief. Impossible. Our sensors detected no neutronium deposits, no quintessium cores. How did you construct such infrastructure? We didn't use neutronium, Elena replied simply. We didn't need quintessium. We used what was actually there. The hologram zoomed in on one of the ring structures. Instead of the gleaming exotic metals expected by the council, they saw something far more mundane. Iron, silicon, carbon. Elements so common that most civilizations barely considered them resources at all. Your species has fought wars over neutronium because it's naturally strong, Elena explained. But we asked ourselves, what if we could make regular iron stronger? So we developed metamaterials with atomic-level engineering. Your quintessium cores are rare because they naturally store vast energy. We built fusion matrices from hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Zethkri's crystalline structure darkened with confusion. But the engineering complexity, the computational requirement, would be impossible for most species, yes? Elena nodded respectfully. But humans have a particular talent for what we call making do. We've been taking scraps and turning them into miracles since we lived in caves. The hologram shifted again, showing the interior of a Terran habitat. Lush forests grew under artificial suns powered by fusion reactors no larger than ground vehicles. Cities floated in the air, suspended by metamaterial frames lighter than aluminum yet stronger than neutronium. Children played in parks that existed in perfect environmental balance, their air and water recycled through biological systems that had been extinct on Earth for millennia, but lived again in these orbital gardens. The secret, Elena continued, isn't finding better materials. It's asking better questions. Instead of how do we get more resources, we asked how do we need fewer, instead of who controls this deposit. And we asked, what if we didn't need deposits at all? High Executive Vrain leaned forward. You speak of technologies beyond our understanding. Surely you don't suggest sharing such advantages freely. Elena's smile widened. Actually, that's exactly what we suggest. The chamber erupted in shocked chittering, clicking, and harmonic resonances as dozens of species voiced their disbelief simultaneously. Consider the mathematics, Elena said, waiting for quiet. For the past 10,000 years, council warfare has consumed approximately 40% of all extracted resources. Another 30% goes to defense against potential attacks. Only 30% actually improves your civilizations. She gestured and new numbers appeared in the hologram. Humans propose a different calculation. We share our manufacturing techniques freely. In return, we request cultural exchange and peaceful cooperation. No warfare, no defensive spending. 100% of production goes toward advancement. Zethkri's organs flared brighter. Naive human optimism. Conflict is the natural state of thinking beings. Competition drives evolution. Competition, yes, Elena agreed, but not for resources. We compete to see who can create the most beautiful art, solve the most elegant equations, explore the furthest reaches of space. We compete to see who can transform a dead system into a garden of worlds using nothing but star stuff and imagination. The hologram now showed dozens of systems, each transformed by human engineering into thriving ecosystems built from the most common materials in the universe. Stellar lifting operations turned dying stars into controlled fusion furnaces. Asteroid belts became the foundations for ring worlds that could house billions. Even the vacuum of space itself became a resource, its quantum fluctuations harvested for energy.
The galaxy is not poor in resources, Elena concluded.
It's infinite in possibility. Every grain of sand can become a computer. Every drop of water can become rocket fuel. Every breath of air can sustain a civilization, if you know how to ask it nicely. As she spoke, reports began flooding into the chamber. Human engineering teams had arrived at contested systems throughout Council space, not as conquerors but as consultants. They offered to show any species how to turn their local debris fields into habitable worlds, their atmospheric gases into advanced materials, their stellar radiation into limitless energy. The age-old wars over neutronium mines and quintessium deposits suddenly seemed as primitive as fighting over who could gather the most shiny rocks. For the first time in 10 millennia, the Galactic Council faced a new kind of future, one where abundance replaced scarcity, creation replaced conquest, and the youngest species in the chamber had just taught the oldest how to truly reach for the stars. After all, humans had always been good at making something from nothing. Now they were ready to teach the galaxy how to do the same.